Welcome back to the Soulful Afro Show, Miss Yvette. Miss Yvette.
Hassan, I was ready to really start singing right there.
I know.
Like, really ready. And you just, like, took it right out of me. Welcome, everyone, to another Soulful Afro with Yvette show where Miss Yvette is feeling a bit good and a bit light on her feet. And I wanted to talk about what this month has been. I've been celebrating my birthday all month. My official birthday was August 5th. But I've been celebrating it all month, and I really put a lot of purpose into making the month a month of clarity, of self awareness, of self care, of self love, and not having to apologize for it. And that's one of the things that I think we need to begin to do is when we pause and take care of ourselves, we should not have to apologize for removing ourselves from things that are affecting us. Like we should not have to apologize if we say, you know what, I'm not going to have a heavy conversation at 9:30 at night before I go to bed that's going to interrupt my ability to sleep in peace. I'm not going to take a phone call that I know is not a phone call that's going to be healthy for my mind and spirit at this time. If I can take it and put it off until another time, then I need to do that. I did something very different for my birthday this year. I decided to go away on my own to Martha's Vineyard to Oak Bluffs for 2 days. And what was interesting in planning, I felt this level of freedom come over me. I wasn't afraid to go by myself. I wasn't afraid to sit at a restaurant by myself. What I found was that other people around me were more concerned about what it looked like for me to be alone. And it was my holding of alone does not mean you're lonely. Sometimes alone can create the clarity, the self-consciousness, the peace that you need to then be in bigger settings and be out in the open. So I would recommend. I had the most wonderful time getting up, walking, jogging, sitting at the beach. I had my birthday dinner at a restaurant, sat at the bar, had the most delicious meal. And everything about it was sort of a reconnecting, a regrouping, a pausing. Um, and it allowed me to say how much I don't say no enough, and we need to say no when we really need to say no. Like I got to a point where I was exhausted that I wasn't even able to really think straight, but I didn't want to say no to anything, so I was pushing myself way more than I needed to. And what was happening is that I wasn't even doing what I needed to do in the way that I would usually do it because I was so overtired and overwhelmed, and my brain was just overloaded with too much information. So it's been really refreshing to come back and sort of after that disconnect. And I disconnected with drove a lot of the folks that care about me and that I care about very dearly crazy because that meant I wasn't talking to anyone for 2 days. Like I picked up the phone on the day of my birthday to hear folks wish me a happy birthday. Then after that, it was like, what you want? Can it wait? So that was what was happening at that time. So I do think I would recommend it. I started a journal just for the month, and it's been interesting to even go back and read the days when I was on the beach and the people that I met, uh, the elders that I met. I loved, for me, folks were like, oh, you're going to have a bougie moment because you were in Martha's Vineyard and Oak Bluffs. But what was interesting was to see this deep African American history that is part of this space. And to see African Americans walk around this space with that history. And I was there on the anniversary of the voting rights and went to this event at Lola's. And it was a wonderful event to look around and see all these beautiful Black people still, even on a break, pausing to recognize this very important day. So, my message around that is take it. If you have to, demand it and grab it and hold on to it, then do it. But with the heaviness of the world, and Chioma and Hassan can speak to this. We have so much going on, and for those of us who are on the front lines, who are seeing this work, who are doing this work, like we are, we have to do this. It is a must for us to survive, because what they don't teach us in the past is that when we don't do this, then we don't end up being able to stay longer. So we're gonna we're having a little interruption. So we'll be right. So that is, we've seen so many elders not get sick and not make it long enough because they weren't doing this self-care. To do this work, you don't always have to prove that you're in it by not pausing and taking a break and then getting sick. To do this work, you still need to take care of yourself. So that is my message on that. I hope this lands on some of you and that you're able to take some of this in and do better self care for yourself and create that balance in your life. So I'm going to take a break. Chioma is going to join me, and we're going to jump right into some community updates, including her upcoming event around the African Immigrant and Refugee HIV Hepatitis Awareness Day. We'll be right back. What's this? Hmm?